Hi, friends. Good morning. It is 11:17 a.m. here in New York City. We are on Eastern Standard Time. So it is morning time. Friday morning, November 17th. No, too far ahead. It is Friday morning, November 14th. I'm saying November 17th because the time was 11:17, but not the date. The date is 11:14. Yesterday was the 13th, so today must be the 14th, right? Uh, yeah. How are you doing? How are you doing? Good morning. We got a package to open today. Today's unboxing day. We got a package from the publishers. Good morning. Hi, Rumi24 Runwright Reads Girly is in the house. Hello. Good morning. Remind me which country you're in. Rumi. I am thinking today I'm physically in New York. I'm physically in the United States of America. My mind is somewhere in the Caribbean, somewhere in Jamaica, and a house that no longer has a roof or ceiling on most of the house. My mind, my thoughts are elsewhere, occupied. So I am here to just chat and help myself to not think so much about things I can't change right now. So yeah, we have another package to open. Another book box. Slovakia. Ah, yes, Slovakia. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. I'd forgotten. Been thinking a little bit about book lists because when we were here on Wednesday, we looked at the Goodreads Choice Awards nominees, and we're looking at the Goodreads Choice Awards nominees, and I realized that despite having read quite a few new books this year, quite a few of the books that are on those lists I haven't yet read. But it's funny because we're in November. There's still lots of time to read books. But I got a newsletter from Book Riot. Bookriot.com. They're a bookish newsletter if you're not familiar. Oh, sorry, I had to close the app. It glitched, but I'm back. Welcome back. Yeah, if you're not familiar, Book Riot is a bookish newsletter, and I get emails from them, so I don't always go on the website. They usually send me an email maybe once or twice a week with a couple of their articles linked, so I don't necessarily go to the Book Riot website. But a message they sent us recently, about books, some of the best books of the season, some of the best books so far this year. And I wanted to share that with you. Rumi 24, 8 days left before your birthday. So your birthday is next Saturday? Oh, that is so exciting. November 22nd. Good morning, Sharon. Welcome. November 22nd is going to be Rumi 24 Runwright Reads Girlie's birthday, November 22nd. I'm not usually on here on a Saturday, but I may have to do something for your birthday. Maybe we'll do it on the Friday. Is it okay if we celebrate the day before? Next Friday is going to be a little bit of a busy day for me because I'm supposed to go to my daughter's school. They're doing a multicultural appreciation. Yeah. They're doing multicultural appreciation at my daughter's school next Friday. They are inviting the families to send food that represent your cultural background. And they invited the parents, whoever wants to volunteer. So we had to sign up to volunteer to come in and just help help with the serving, help with the cleanup, help with just making sure kids don't eat something that they're not supposed to, that kind of thing. So I volunteered, of course, because I never miss an opportunity. I was telling my daughter the other day, I never miss an opportunity. If they say I can come to school, I will come to school. I won't always be able to do it. I know that. So when I can, I go. So that's next Friday, but I don't think it's all day. So we will definitely make some time on Friday next week to celebrate Rumi 24 Runwright Reads Girlie's birthday. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday. Can I be the first one to wish you happy early birthday? Or Monday? Okay. Yeah, we could do Monday too, except that week my daughter's gonna be home from school. The time, my time, my time's a little different when she's around for the whole week. But yeah, we will celebrate you, Ruby. Whenever we do it, we will celebrate you. So yeah, so excited to have you guys on here. We are talking books of the season, books of the year, I guess. I'm not going to be on here too long because I think around midday is when Brown Girl Reading starts her live, and I want to check it out. And I also don't want to clash with Dee Dee. So it is Native American history. Native American Heritage Appreciation, Native American Heritage Month here in the United States. So we got some books from Native American writers. Um, I am trying to be intentional about learning more about cultures that aren't mine. Um, I don't have any Native American uh, history. I don't have any Native American blood myself. But when I was growing up, I didn't know too much about Native Americans or Native Indigenous people from the Americas. Um, if you read Caribbean history, you'll learn Caribs, the Caribs and the Arawaks, the Taino people, we heard about when we were learning geography and history as children, but I didn't know too much about these indigenous cultures. And since I have become aware of the need to learn, I have been trying to be intentional about finding authors that are indigenous from indigenous backgrounds and reading more of their works. And Book Riot has a list of some nonfiction from indigenous authors from the Americas, Native Americans. So I'm just going to share a couple of the titles with you. If you are looking for some new books to read, some of these are new releases. One is called Medicine River, A Story of Survival and the Legacy of Indian Boarding Schools, which is something I first learned about somewhere in the last 10 years, I think. This one is by Mary Annette Pember. Mary Annette Pember wrote Medicine River. It is about these boarding schools that Native children were taken from their families, taken from their homes, taken by the government, and put into these schools to learn English, but also to learn or to unlearn their indigenous ways. And a lot of them were abused. The first time I read about this, I couldn't believe that this was our history. Another book called My Life, Growing Up Native in America, is essays and poems by 20 Native American contributors about what it means to be Native in America today. So some of these are athletes, performers, musicians, activists in all realms, but they have come together to share their experiences in this essay collection. Um, I don't have it anymore, but I had a book. Called, no, that wasn't it. I had a book that I gave to someone. I think I gave it away last year around this time because while it was a very, very eye-opening experience for me, I also wanted to share it with other people. So it was a book sharing biographies of people who are celebrities in a lot of different spaces, and they all have Native background. And this reminds me of that one. The Indian Card, Who Gets to Be Native in America by Carrie Laurie Schutpels. Schutpels. She's a writer, researcher, and professor who previously worked on issues of homelessness and tribal policy for the Obama administration. She explores what it means legally and culturally to be Native American, including the complex set of laws and regulations that govern tribal enrollment. Another characteristic of Native life that I just learned about, recently. When I say recently, within the last 10 to 15 years. Because while we are here in America, there's so much about Native life that is not like commonplace. Like you don't really hear too much about it unless you go looking for the information. And by looking for the information, I mean reading books. In a lot of ways, just reading books written by people who are from this culture. Whiskey Tender, a memoir by Deborah Jackson Taffa, was a finalist for the National Book Award. She traces her personal history alongside the history of Native Americans in the United States. She was born on a reservation. She was raised in a Navajo territory. And she grew up hearing her grandparents' stories of their childhoods in some of those missionary boarding schools, as well as she compares that with her parents and her community's beliefs about the need to assimilate and blend with the wider American culture to achieve success. There's also a cookbook called The Sioux Chef's Indigenous Kitchen by Sean Sherman and Beth Dooley. Sean Sherman is the Native American chef. He's combined his own award-winning recipes with lessons on the history of cultivation, cooking, and access to food, land, and tribal memory in the Dakota and Minnesota territories. So it's a nice little list of books. None of them are books that I have ever read. But if you are looking for recommendations for books by Native American writers, I would definitely recommend that you check out Robin Wall Kimmerer. I read her book, The Serviceberry, recently, sometime earlier this year. And The Serviceberry was very small, very short reflection on the giving economy, about what it means to exchange money for food, what it means for the person who has access to the food as well as the person who wants access to it, what it means when economy is built up around food. Rumi's practicing her guitar. I love it. So yeah, this is why sometimes you don't turn on the phone, because you get distracted. The Serviceberry by Robin Wall Kimmerer was a really great read earlier this year. She is the author of Braiding Sweetgrass. Another book that I really enjoyed. I read it a couple of years ago. Louise Erdrich, the very popular literary fiction author. She has lots of books about Native culture and how their cultural beliefs and practices influence all their relationships. And the first book that I read from her was La Rose, and I was talking to someone about it recently. La Rose. And when I picked up the book, I had no idea who Louise Erdrich was. I had no idea what the book was going to be about, and it was just so revealing about just the very intricate way that their beliefs overlay everything about their lives and relationships and practices, family practices. The story in La Rose is about two families who become a lot closer than they ever imagined because of a tragedy. And yeah, high recommendation for Louise Erdrich's writings. The book that I read from her most recently was The Sentence, where she talked about life in a bookstore for people who are living, and even for people who used to be in bookstores a lot and are now no longer alive, and kind of how their memory and their legacy in continues to inhabit a bookstore. Louise Erdrich is a very popular writer, but she also a bookstore owner, and I just love reading. I just love reading her writing. She's a Native American author. So if you are looking for more mainstream, very popular books, check out Robin Wall Kimmerer and Louise Erdrich's writings. Yeah, Native American. I'm going to look for them because my books are still not quite sorted. I had a book called Native Peoples, and I think I still have it. I'm not sure where it is. And this was not the list that I planned to share with you today, so that's why I don't have the books. I'm just telling you off the top of my head a couple of books that if you are looking to pick up something that you may be able to find easily from the library by Native American authors, check out those two. So we're here for an unboxing. Let's do that. Let's see what the publishers sent us today. Got this yesterday. Came yesterday, but I did not open it. Couldn't come on live. I told you I had an appointment really early in the morning. So when I finished my appointment, I went out. I had to do some shopping for a couple of events that are coming up. So I didn't get home until pretty late, just in time really to go get my daughter. So I wasn't able to do a live yesterday, but here we are. And I saved the unboxing to do it with you. So Penguin Random House was kind enough to gift us this package. I can't wait to see what's inside. Let's open it up. I'm going to close my eyes like I usually do so you could see it first, because the publishers send the books for me to share with you. Oh, it's an ARC. It is Intimacy, a field guide to finding connection and feeling your deep desires by Ita O'Brien. This one goes on sale in January, so this we're pushing forward onto our 2026 TBR, because I have so many books that I need to finish reading before the end of this year, that if I can push a book to January, push a book to 2026, I will. Thank you so much to the publishers for having gifted me this book. I like these overlapping circles and how the two separate colors blend in the middle. So it's blue and pink, and they blend right here to make purple, because when you are really truly intimate with other people, they should rub off on you and you should rub off on them. There should be some change from your interactions. So this is nonfiction. Oh, I love a good graphic. Oh, maybe that's not a graphic that I should show you. Oh dear. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. Oh my. We may not be able to put this this live as a future recording. Oh dear. Okay. The first steps towards intimacy. Okay, so this is a lot of it is oh, I like this. Okay, here's a graphic that I can show you. Here's a graphic that I could show you. This is foot massage. It's exploring the title. Well, the first line of the foot massage section says, "Now we have explored the connection of our feet to the earth while walking. I would love to invite you to bring even more awareness to your feet with a foot massage." But we didn't see the connection to your feet through walking. So let's see that. Okay, so it talks about walking barefoot. There's a section on walking barefoot. Our feet are so important, both in carrying our weight and in connecting us to the earth. In this exercise, I hope to draw your attention to your feet so we can appreciate everything they do for us and feel better connected to them and therefore the earth. I'd like to offer you a chance to walk barefoot. Eye gazing. Okay. So these are, again, the first steps. Well, this section is called the first steps towards intimacy. And it is talking about So it's mentioning some works of art, some TV series, some books, some movies that, and they're making comparisons between different um, you. They're making connections, making comparisons between the different works and what we learn about intimacy from watching them, whether those are things that we need to reinforce or things that we need to unlearn. And I like that. There's a section here on chakras. So in the, I guess, the meditation position and going through a little bit of the where in the body is being engaged during these various activities. All right, I think this is going to be interesting. An interesting. I think this is going to be an interesting read. And it is a little over 300 pages, about 330 pages. So we're putting this on the January TBR. More on this later. So this is Intimacy, Field Guide to Finding Connection and Feeling Your Feeling Your Deep Desires by Ita O'Brien. And Ita O'Brien, a little bit about the author. One of the world's leading intimacy coordinators for film, TV, and theater, and the creator of the Intimacy on Set guidelines, which are now used around the world and have gained adoption in leading production houses, including HBO, Netflix, and the BBC. Ita, whose career spans over 40 years, has worked on a huge number of productions, including Normal People, Conversations with Friends. Those are both books by Sal. What's her name? Blanking. Conversations with Friends. Sally Rooney, is that her name? I think so. Yeah, Sally Rooney. Da, 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 da. Normal People. Da, 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 da. Can I show this to you on here? Normal People. Okay. Hard to see. But yeah, very excited to have this because, sometimes we think about intimacy as relationships with just our partner, but we also have to learn how to be intimate with ourselves and being really in touch with what we need to do for ourselves and how to do it. And I think that's going to be a good read. So yeah, here's me hyping up a book that I haven't yet read. But I picked up this phone for a different reason. Bookrat sent me an email recently, and I wanted to share it with you. Okay, here we go. It was a newsletter. The Bookrat newsletter came yesterday. And it said, mid-November really is the most wonderful time of the year. If you're a book nerd, the best of lists are flowing. The big awards are being revealed. New releases slow down and give us space to catch up on those books we've been meaning to get to soon all year long. And I like that. I find that I'm not getting all the books that I used to get like earlier in the year, because it is true. The books that are being released now are, I guess, fewer books are being published in November and December. Maybe for that reason, because the publishers know that there are books that were released earlier in the year that we still need to get to. And if you publish a book this year, you release a book this year, then it's like it's giving it a shorter amount of time to really get traction for the season, for the year. I don't know if I'm saying that, if I'm saying exactly what I need to say. There's less time left in the year for the book to get traction for 2025 best book. Fewer people have an opportunity to buy the book and read it and love it in this year. Whereas if you put it out in January, then you have all year to get it on the best of 2026 list. I guess is what I said. Ah, my cozy little library is here. Welcome. She passed her exams. Congratulations. I am so excited for you. I'm so excited for you. What's next? Which exam was this and what's next? Now that you have been successful like we knew you would be, what's next? Oh, I'm so excited. Let us know. Let us know. Let us celebrate you. Oh, she loves studying during a live stream. Yes. Thank you so much. I really enjoy spending time with you guys and reading, no matter what it is that we are reading. We should do that. We should spend a few minutes today reading something. So let's get something to read for like 10 minutes, and we'll do that in 2 minutes. Let me share this list with you. Came from Book Riot. Book Riot sends a newsletter in your email if you sign up for Book Riot, which I did some time ago, and I don't always read them, but I was intrigued when this one landed in my inbox yesterday because it said uh, Amazon editors named the best books of 2025. And when I saw the graphic, can I show? I keep going to the wrong side. Oh, it came off. Oh dear. Sorry. Can I show it to you? It won't come up. It says Amazon editors named the best books of 2025. And look which book is on it. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. But on the graphic, I told you I love a good graphic. This is one of the books that's one of the best books of 2025 as named by the Amazon editors. So Buckeye is on the list, and it's on my list of books that I want to read 10 before the end of the year challenge. So hopefully someday soon I'll be getting to Buckeye by Patrick Ryan. So his novel Buckeye, which is a multi-generational saga that spans decades in the lives of two Midwestern families, was just named Amazon's number one book of 2025. I kind of wish it was a book that I'd already read so that I could talk about a book and recommend it to you. But yeah, that's after having been featured by both Read with Jenna and the Barnes and Noble Book Club. Amazon editor Al Woodworth raves, fans of Jonathan Franzen's early family epics and Anne Patchett's family dramas will fall head over heels. And I am sold. I agree. I think this definitely gives me the vibes of Jonathan Franzen. And I haven't read all of his books, but he has this book called Crossroads that came out of about 2 years ago. I read it for the BookTube Prize, and I loved it. I loved that book because it was like this deep dive into a family where we were reading from the perspective of almost every member of this family with adult children, and all of the characters were complex, and you saw how they all wanted their own thing. They all had like dreams and aspirations for their own lives, but they also really wanted the family unit to succeed. And it was how they were going to have to reconcile the things that they wanted, which were against the family, but also wanting the family's success. And I really, really love that. And what I really wanted from that book was I heard that it was going to be a little bit of a series where we're going to follow other family members later. And I'm waiting for the next book. I'm waiting for the follow-up to come out, Jonathan Franzen's Crossroads. So I haven't read all of his other books, but I have Jonathan Franzen. I have this one, and I don't have my glasses on, but I know I own his book Corrections, which is another very popular one. Um, so I don't know. Maybe they'll be companions, but I'm definitely reading this first. um, but yeah, I think I could also see where this would compare to Anne Patchett's The Dutch House, which was also very similar because we're reading about a family who inhabits the house, and we're reading almost from the perspective of the house at some places, because when the house is no longer inhabited by the original family and is now inhabited by someone else, we also see like what that change is like for the new people as well as for the old. The Dutch House was a very strong novel from Anne Patchett. I also really loved her book Commonwealth. So I think it made me think about that word commonwealth in a different way. Yeah, so I could definitely see the comparisons between those authors and what I have read from this book thus far, because I did start reading it a little bit. We read it together. We read some pages on here together one day. So yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to read this. I am doing the spin the wheel thing, and I just need to finish my first book and my second book before I can move on. So I'm cheating a little bit um, on my list, because I started reading a second book as a buddy read. When I get to Hi Eric Carl Anderson in the house. Yeah, I'm gonna get to Buckeye soon. um, I'm doing a buddy read of one of the other books on the list. So when I get to it, I'll let you know. Yeah, we'll update you on that. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. And it's so lovely to see you. Eric Carl Anderson, I have not seen your Booker reviews yet. I'm a little late on getting to some of the videos, but I was so excited about the Booker announcement. Yeah, it's so great to have you on here. So, if you can give us a couple of words, a couple of lines, your thoughts on the Booker announcement. We were watching it. I watched it live, and I was wondering if I was going to see you. Maybe if I watch some more of the videos. Um, but yeah, I haven't read the Booker winner yet. And when I think Booker, I think Eric Carl Anderson. Eric has done some really exciting and interesting videos about the Booker over the years. um, I remember when I first started following you, you had these videos with, I don't remember her name now, a female creator, and you'd get together and predict the shortlist and predict the winner, and I love those. So yeah, I've only read so far from the short list for the nominees. I've only started. I'm still not finished reading The Loneliness of Sonia and Sunny. And I was kind of hoping that it would win, but also hoping that I'd have time to read it before the announcement was made. So neither of those two things happened. But it is lovely to be on here and chat books. So yeah, do you guys want to read something for a couple of minutes? I know we said earlier we would do 10 minutes. 10 minutes of reading something together, because when we get together we should read. So I'm going to grab a book and you grab a book, and we'll read together for about 10 minutes before we have to go. Yeah. Eric says the winner flesh is excellent. Oh, okay. I'm sold. Eric's um Eric's Eric's review means a lot. The winner flesh is excellent, and I was happy with the win, but I understand why some readers have had issue with it. Yeah. Um One of the things that I found so interesting was I think it was Roddy Doyle. I think it was Roddy Doyle who said one of the best things about the book is how the author invites the reader to fill in the space. And it's something that I appreciate in a book, because the author doesn't have to tell me everything. But if the strength of the book is what the reader puts into it, that's also, for me, that's a strength sometimes. But it's also, some readers, you understand why some readers see that as as a downfall, as a weakness. So yeah. There is no book that is for everyone. So I can understand why some people don't love a book or a type of book. Yeah. All right. So we are on here. We're going to grab a book or an essay or a poem or something. We're going to read for 10 minutes. What should I read? What should I read? What should I read? Should I get a head start on another book that I have on my list? These are some of the books that I still need to finish before the end of the year. So this is my stack that I'm working on. 10 before the end challenge. Ruby is not going to read. She's practicing her guitar. She's got a concert. We are so excited. All right, I'm going to pick up something that I know is going to be different from everything else. And too many books, too little time. I'm going to pick up this one. I'm going to read 10 pages from this. I'm not going to finish, but I'm going to read 10 pages just because 10 pages in 10 minutes. I could do it. Aww. It's a used book that I got from the Goodwill, I think, at some point. No, I think I bought this online, Thrift Books maybe. And it has a little dedication in here to Courtney from Dana, June 27, 2003. And now it belongs to me. Rumi says the concert, there'll be parents and teachers like that. Yeah, my daughter's school has a concert sometime in December too. So as a parent, I could tell you, we're looking forward to the performance and we're very, very forgiving. So practice for sure. But just know, we're just so excited to be at the concert. All right, we're going to read for 10 minutes. All right. So let me know what you're reading. You could put it in the comments what you're reading. If you're reading with me, if you're reading a book or an essay or a poem or something, grab something. Grab something and read. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. It's 11:54. We'll stop at 12. We'll stop at 12:05. I'll give you an extra few seconds to choose something. Oh. Okay, so this is intriguing. This is expertly written from the very first page. The Bone People by Carrie Holm is set in New Zealand. In a tower on the New Zealand sea lives Carolyn Holmes, part Maori, part European, an artist estranged from her art, a woman in exile from her family. One night, her solitude is disrupted by a visitor, a speechless, mercurial boy named Simon, who tries to steal from her and then repays her with his most precious possession. That meeting happens in those first few pages. I got to page 22. Got to page 22 because it's that kind of book where you just kind of want to rush into where it's going. Remember yesterday, not yesterday, in our previous live, we're talking about the comment that Lenny Henry made after the Booker Prize, or right before the Booker Prize, was being interviewed about what makes a good book to him. And he said it's a book that makes you want to slow down, and I just love that so much. I'm gonna go back and see if I can find the recording, because what we were watching was the live stream. Um, yeah, and I love that because it made me think about a book inviting you into a world and then just holding you, like you don't want to leave. So a book that makes you want to slow down and just stay with it. And this, I think, is the kind of book where you get this glimpse into the life of someone who has decided that she wants to live alone. And it's almost like the author is giving the reader an opportunity to, it's almost like you're spying, like you're peeking in on a woman who has desires to be private, and yet we are seeing her in her intimate space as it has been invaded by someone. And he's a child. He's a boy. He's a boy who comes into her space. So, the difference in age, I don't know what the circumstances are yet that has made her want to leave, but we know that she is here. She wants to be alone. She wants to be alone. And then here's someone in the form of another character, but then here's someone who is the reader who is invading the space that she has carved out for herself. I think I'm going to love this. Eric Carl Anderson said, The Bone People is also great. I read it a long time ago. Enjoy. Yes. It's a previous Booker winner. So it's been on my list for a long time for lots of reasons. It's going to check a lot of boxes. So I wanted to read it. The author is also of Maorian background. That's one of the one of the indigenous people in this part of the world, Australia, New Zealand. So I'm very excited to be finally picking this up. And I know I didn't spin the wheel for it yet, but it will come up soon enough, and I will get back to it. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm not gonna linger too much longer because I have a couple of appointments later that I need to go get ready for. But Tyrese says, "Hi, can you post the last chapter of Their Eyes Were Watching God?" It will be up later today. It will be up later today. I just need to edit it and post it. So thank you so much for your question and your reminder that I need to do it. I'm so sorry it's been so long. I've been reading aloud this book, Their Eyes Are Watching God, and I know I stopped with just like the last two chapters, and people have asked me, and I did come back and finish it. So that chapter will be up a little later today. It's a short chapter. Chapter 20 is actually really short, but it will be posted. So thank you so much for your question. Thank you so much for being on here. I really enjoy spending time with you. Happy Friday. I will be back. Thank you, Tyrese. Tyrese says, I'm so excited. I got to the last chapter and was left on a cliffhanger. I love your accent. Thank you, Tyrese. I am from Jamaica. This accent is a mix of my Jamaican background and the fact that I have now been living in the United States for a lot of my adult life thus far. With no plans to change, with no plans to change that. Okay. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being here. We'll be back with another live on Monday. Hopefully on Monday, we'll be able to spend a little bit more time together because I won't be probably rushing out to do a lot of things. When we come in on Monday, I will get some book stacks prepared to share with you, some recommendations maybe for nonfiction November for Native American Heritage Appreciation, as well as some things that we are looking forward to diving through in anticipation of the book lists, the best of 2025 book lists that are going to be announced later. I'm going to finish the read aloud for Their Eyes Are Watching God, and I'm going to try to make a video about the Goodreads Reader's Choice nominees. I don't remember the title. Reader's Choice nominees, I think is what they're called on Goodreads. So a couple of reaction videos I want to make about that. And I'm also waiting to get my hands on a copy of the new Booker Prize winner, because I'm adding that to my TBR before the end of the year. So my 10 before the end challenge has now gone to 11 11 must read books. So we will see each other on Monday. I hope whatever you do this weekend, you enjoy it immensely, and I look forward to hearing what you do and what you get up to and what books you're reading. So let's chat in the comments. If you're watching this later, leave me a comment. Let me know what you've been reading, what you enjoyed this week, the highlight of your week. Let's chat. And until we come back for another video or another live, happy reading, happy weekend. Bye. Thank you so much for joining. See you in the next one. Bye, Rumi. See you on Monday.